I'll just take you quickly through how to set up Mapbox in 3ds Max and how to bring in your geometry in Civil 3D into the right place over the top of it. So just starting with Mapbox to begin with, we'll open that up. It takes a minute to load, but that's fine. And I'm using Mapbox 71. So here we have our OpenStreetMap. My units are set to meters, so even though this says that it would be best to work in kilometers, it seems fine to just work in meters. So I'm going into OpenStreetMap, I'm coming into the top rung, and I am going to find by location. So if I just type in Brad Mill, look up location, we get a location there, and that location is set by the same location as it is in Google Earth. So I'm going to update my space, and importantly here, the most kind of square I can get my site is by using UTM manual, and that'll tell me that my central meridian is at 144.87 and I am in zone 55. So I'm going to update that. I'm going to come into OSM, my single OSM layer, and I do like to layer these up, so new map layer, I would do this for each separate piece of geometry. And here I'm just going to take the layer buildings. I'm going to leave it as 4 kilometers by 4 kilometers because that seems to be working pretty well. And as usual, I just press the download and draw the OSM layers. So you'll see that's doing its thing at the bottom there. Then I want to come into my style sheet, and I'm just going to do my OSM style sheet, and I'm going to apply the style sheet. So as you can see, it's just bringing in the geometry and using a bunch of inbuilt Max modifiers to give that those bits of geometry some nice variation in texture. Alright, so I don't need Maproom anymore. I can certainly bring my ways in and do that as well, but this is just for demonstration purposes, so we won't do that. But what I have is the Brad Mill here, and it has basically made an anchor point in the same place as not as the old Brad Mill factory, but if I go into Google Earth, it has made the same anchor point as, let's just go from the top. As this one here. So if I right click on this one, and then I right click on these, this is the UTM coordinates front. So I'm going to copy those by right clicking on it. Sorry, left clicking on it. And I'm just going to stick those into my untitled notepad for the moment. So one of the other things I'm going to do is I am going to take off the last few digits. So I think it can only do to 9 decimal places. So that's 1, 2, 3. Yep, so I'm going to take off from there to there, and from there to there, and that's so that that is the right length to put into my, sorry, they were lat longs, and I want to translate or convert my lat longs into universal transverse Mercator. And that's what I need to do in order to be able to bring it into Civil 3D. Alright, so I'll go into Civil 3D, and I am going to do a new file in here, and I am using the ANZ country kits, and I'm going to do a design, ANZ. So just opening that up. And in order to get it to georeference properly, and for those to come straight in over the top of the map room, I am going to need to set my drawing coordinate system. So under the settings tab, you just want to right click on the drawing and go to edit drawing settings. Within the edit drawing settings, I can set that I would like it to follow the UTM, which is under this pile here. Here we go, down the bottom here, and it's WGS 84 datum. And I'm in the Southern Hemisphere in zone 55, so I just need to scroll down to the Southern Hemisphere zone 55. Select that, apply that, and go OK. Now you'll see geolocation has popped up on the top. I can come across to geolocation and I can turn the map on now, so I might just turn my hybrid on. But because it's using online maps, it might just take a minute. So I tend to scroll in a bit, so mouse wheel towards me, and eventually you'll get a sort of a slice of map appearing in your screen. And that'll look like that. So if you move up that slice, you'll find your red wheel eventually, just above Tasmania. And then you just want to scroll in and find your site. The hybrid map is useful for that because you get to your road names. So we've got our Westgate Freeway. Our site comes off the Westgate Freeway just here. Beautiful. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to put a point into this drawing file. So I just need to come to my Home tab, and at the bottom here I want to open my properties box. So just open that up so that we've got our properties available. And what I'm going to do is just minimize that for a minute. I'm going to draw a point. So just point creation tools, add a point, and it doesn't matter where that goes. It is my origin and an elevation of 0, and it's all I'm accepting that default location. So I'll just move that out of there. So what we want to do is make this sit at exactly the same UTM as we had in here. So we want to be able to have things referencing that same UTM. To do that, we need to use our lat long converter, and we need to use our numbers that we grabbed before from Google Earth. So if I copy these into here, and the other one here, and convert, I'll get my UTM eastings and northings. So I can just copy that, come back into my civil file, and in the properties of my point, so this is a Kogo point, the properties of my point, I can come down, right down, eastings, reset that to what I've got, and northings I will just need to grab as well from here. And you'll see that will pop itself into the right spot. So not too bad, although I think we could get potentially a better result. It's looking a little off. So just need to check it a few times to make sure that it is sitting in the right spot. So I would like to do that one again because I've got a better result previously. I'm going to just right click again, and I'm going to copy those into here. So you can see that there is a slightly different lat long popping up now. I'm going to remove those end numbers. Okay. And let's see if we get a better result. So you just need to be a bit mindful that it seems to move around for whatever unknown reason. And that could just be that I didn't click on it correctly, or it could be some other unknown aspect. So try that one. So once you've got one that you're happy with, you will want to, which I've completely ruined, so I will just pause that for a minute and get it back. Oh, that's because I've got that awfully wrong. We need the one from the here. Once you've got one that you're happy with, you will want to, yeah, that's better. Okay, yeah, so I'm happy with that. And then you will want to get your geometry into this file. So I'll just put some geometry in. So this geometry is what I will export to my 3ds Max file. Okay, so a thing I have to do here is I have to go from the coordinate system that's been set in the drawing into a user coordinate system. So to do that, I have to type in UCS. And what I'm going to do is make sure that my snap tools are on node. And then I'm going to, UCS. I'm going to set my UCS and then enter for that origin point. And that way, when I do what's called a W block and I grab these bits of geometry, so selected objects, and we will retain, and I can just put that onto the desktop. And I don't want to include the map information in the export. What that means is that when I come to my Maproom file, and I might just put a plane underneath this. So you can see it. Actually, we could do this here now. If we come in here and go to the V-Ray IPR. Oh no, I won't do that because I haven't put a sun in yet, so I'll just leave it plain. And let me do a file, import, just do import non-native file type from the desktop. Just, that's fine. And because I know that I was drawing in meters, I don't need to rescale or anything, so I can accept all of these defaults. And I should, yeah, have my geometry popping in relatively, yeah, it's probably almost exactly the right spot, I think. So that's a way to work between Maproom and Civil 3D. There may be a bit of wiggle room in this stuff, so just be aware of that. But for the most part, that will get you very close. Great, thank you.